Last episode, we left things in the January transfer window, and I said I didn't think I was going to do any business. I did do some business. It wasn't signing anyone, but it was signing a first-team player. That is right. Julian Duranville has left the building. Going to Leverkusen, he has 2 goals and 1 assist in 4 appearances. Of course, last year was on loan at Hoffenheim, didn't really shine there. So naturally, when a bid for a player who made 1 appearance in the first half of the season came in of £27.5 million, it was kind of hard to turn it down. That is, in fact, however, the only first-team transfer of note we did in the entirety of January, really. A quiet spell. Was I going to live to regret it, given the fact that when I left things last episode, our next game was against Bayern Munich? The answer to that question, if you were purely to look at the scoreline of this game, is a resounding no. We beat Bayern Munich 4-2. The result flattered us a little bit, but we were clinical in front of goal and we scored a ton. Of course, we beat them earlier on in the first half of the season on the road. So going at home against them, I wanted to do well. So when Gruder and Adriano scored within the first 25 minutes, that really did set us on our merry way. We did have a little bit of a scare where Vanna got a goal at the back post he was arriving in for the header. Jovic, maybe a question mark about that goalkeeping. But from there, we settled down, we calmed our nerves. You can see here, Arata on the wing, whipping it in. Viper was there, using that aerial ability of his. And we'd get another goal from the spot in the second half to make it 4-1. They did get a consolation. We don't want to watch this, do we? We don't need to watch it. We beat Bayern Munich. That's what matters. And with that all said and done, we are back today for the Champions League round of 16. AS Monaco are our opposition, an AS Monaco side managed by Graham Potter with Mudryk, of all players, as their key player. Yeah, this is a really weird, cursed timeline. Welcome back to Rebuilding Dortmund. Today is episode number 22. Let's run that intro and get straight into things. Yes, folks, I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. A little bit of behind the curtain stuff. As I sit here and record this video, the time is 9:52 the day you're going to see it. My aim is to have this video up for midday. That's going to be a tall order. If it's up a little bit later than usual, editing Jack let us down. What wasn't my fault. Now, the actual reason is I didn't record the video yesterday. I had an awful migraine all afternoon when I'd kind of booked in time to record the video. So I've woken up fresh as a daisy, or as fresh as I'll ever wake up. And hopefully Football Manager is going to be the thing that cheers me up and raises my spirits for the entire day. Now, I mentioned that Bayern Munich result. That was a really, really important game for us. It was a good win. We already had a pretty healthy cushion at the top of the table. That cushion did get eaten into a little bit with this result here against Leipzig. We followed up the 4-2 win with this 1-1 draw. They scored through Ozza, who is just this incredible new-gen striker, has a £90 million release clause. I'd be very tempted to trigger that. He's got 17 goals in 22 games. Besides him, though, they didn't really impress me. We scored with Viper, Adriano with the assist. At this point, Adamu was still coming back from injury, and Killy was sent off in the second half, but we held on for an all-important point, and down to 10 men for 30 minutes. I kind of feel like you have to be happy with this result. Besides that, though, it has been rather plain sailing. 3-1 wins against Stuttgart and Hoffenheim were absolutely fantastic. Adamu back from injury, scoring a hat-trick immediately. This guy's goal scoring is just ridiculous, isn't it? 20 goals in 18 appearances in the league this year, 4 assists as well. He may well end up eclipsing last season's totals. Sadly, the injuries that he's had are going to make that slightly more of a challenge. In the DFB Pokal, we beat Freiburg 4-1. Great result, nice variety of goal scorers. And most recently, we took on Bochum. And Bochum down towards the bottom of the table. When you look at the lineup that started this game, you will note an incredibly well-rotated 11. Felt like we could afford to do that going into today's games against Monaco. And so with our players ready and rested, we sit atop the Bundesliga by 11 points with 9 games left. I'm not going to say it's job done yet because Bayern Munich are bloody good, but compared to last year, they've dropped more points already, and I feel like it'd have to be a monumental cock-up to not win the league from here. And I think one thing that really tells how dominant we've been this year in the league is this screen here. Of the top 9 average-rated players, 7 of them are our own. Musiala and Tell sneak in for Bayern Munich, but it really has just been a sensational team display. Great attacking performances. Viper, I mean, he's got the second highest average rating. Doesn't even start for us on the regular. 11 of his appearances in the league have come on off the bench, and yet he still has an absolutely ridiculous rating. We are a team that just score goals for fun, and whilst we might not be good at that whole defending malarkey, if you score a load, at least in league games, you're usually fine. Whether or not that mentality can work against Monaco of all teams, we're going to find out today. So ahead of this game, we are heading to the Stade Louis de... I guess it's de. I guess that's a 2 rather than Stade Louis. Doesn't sound right. We've got to do an away day. It's been a while since the last one. We're heading to France. There's a running track. I'm already annoyed. Let's go see what else it's got in store for us. So for today's away day, we are heading to the Principality of Monaco. And to be honest, I wouldn't know where it is, bar the fact that F1 go there. So this should be, I think, a relatively easy place to spot a football stadium. It's not exactly a big place, is it, Monaco? Known for obviously the Grand Prix, but the stadium, it exists. It's here. It looks like a work of art from above. I have no idea if there's going to be good street view options or not. I suppose the most logical thing to do here is just click the green man, or the yellow man, not colourblind, I swear, and see what we've got. And I'll tell you what we've got, what we've really got. Lots of options. Now, we do have car parking. I couldn't see it on satellite view, but I imagine there's quite a lot of underground car parking here in Monaco. They have signs telling you how many spots are free at the parking bays. So, I mean, that might be an away day first. In terms of the stadium itself, here it is, the Stade Louis Le. I'm not saying de. Yeah, it sounds funnier. I mean, from the outside, it kind of blends in with all the other buildings on the street, the stadium. It does just look like a bit of a work of art, doesn't it? And speaking of works of art, here is a interesting sculpture. We'll leave it at that. I don't know what it's meant to depict. I don't think this is football. I mean, Monaco is a very picturesque place. Here is another one of the stands. Again, not sure you'd necessarily identify it as a stadium from the outside. It looks incredibly unique. It looks like a work of art, really, doesn't it? This whole building. Just around the stadium as well, they have got a backup football pitch, which, given how much real estate is limited here at Monaco, I'm glad they found a space for a spare stadium. Is this like another football club? Is it like the Monaco's women's team? I actually have no idea. It is the Stade Didier Deschamps, of course, former France manager. It's not quite as impressive as the main stadium, is it? It kind of looks like a all-weather pitch. Maybe it's just for the community to use. That would probably make more sense. I've done a little bit of a tour of the outside. I'm very keen to see what this stadium looks like on the inside, because from outside on the roads and from the aerial view, it looks like a work of art. Let's just go to this dot on the centre circle. Here is the stadium, and I mean, it's not really what I was expecting. I don't know about anyone else. I thought they'd have seats that kind of match Monaco's red and white colours, but no, they've gone for a custard attire, which I'm not really sure what to think of it. I mean, if you're particularly keen on your seat art, this is not the stadium for you. In 2017, there were no red seats whatsoever. It was just custard everywhere. They have got a running track, which I want to be annoyed about, but it actually kind of fits the funky aesthetic quite well. It's not like it's a big stadium where, because there's a running track, people are going to be miles away. Everyone's quite close and cozy. There's loads of dots around here, which naturally, it's going to raise the question, what is going on in here? I think the most logical thing to do is just drop our dot and discover the handball court. I think this is handball. I've never played handball. I know it's very popular amongst the continentals, particularly in France. I mean, even here, they've gone for interesting seat choices. My eyes kind of hurt. Yeah, indoor handball arena. Why not? I thought all these dots were going to be really interesting options. It's just some bloke who's walked around the handball arena. That is literally why there are all the dots here. Someone has decided they're just going to walk around. I say handball. Actually, it could be futsal. It does say futsal in the top right. But do handball and futsal use the same goals? Because these kind of look like they could be either. I have no idea. Someone help educate me. To be fair, the floor does have gymnasium vibes. You know, when you go to school and there's just everything you could want. They've got tennis courts painted on here. They probably do have handball lines painted on here, to be honest. I don't know what I'd be looking for. I'm just going to assume I'm correct. I have just noticed there is a Land Rover dealership in the corner of the stadium. This can't be a thing, can it? Okay, no, never mind. It can be a thing. Land Rover, just casually a Land Rover dealership in the corner of the stadium, and a petrol station. This stadium's weird. I thought some of these dots might give me a side of the pitch view. No, they are literally all pictures of that indoor gymnasium. There is more footage of the gymnasium than the actual football stadium, and I'm fuming. Okay, the Stade Louis, one of the most picturesque stadiums we've seen. We have to admit it. It looks absolutely stunning next to the waterfront, nestled in between the unique architecture that exists in Monaco. Am I going to score it highly? I often criticise stadiums for being too symmetrical. This stadium does not have that problem, and you know what? My only disappointment is we couldn't see more of it from the inside. Where there was loads of the indoor court being shown, not a lot enough of the football pitch. Drone footage would have made this better. There was a Land Rover dealership in it. Looked cool. Underground car parking. Stadium next door. Cool location. Solid away day, 6.5 out of 10. Is there anything more on brand than me telling you that I have a really tight turnaround on today's video, then spending ages looking at the indoor gymnasium at Monaco Stadium? Probably not. That's what you're here for. And well, hopefully you're also here to see us play some Football Manager. We're going to do that right now. We're taking on Monaco. They have Mudryk as their key player. They have Graham Potter as their manager. Just a little reminder, we did play them in the group stage of this Champions League campaign already. A little bit bizarre, of course, with the expanded Champions League format. When we did play them previously, it was a banger. We won 3-2, hoping for a repeat of that in this first leg away from home. Now, of course, I did fully rotate the team when we took on Bochum at the weekend, so the players here pretty much ready and refreshed. A little bit of first-team news of note. Bright, Arian B, Becker, both one yellow card away from a suspension in the Champions League. They are going to have to be very well behaved. Damu has been out with injuries. We've already discussed this a lot. Since he's been back, he's been amazing. Even before he got injured, he was in some scintillating form. In the last 10 games he's played, 17 goals, 2 assists. Yeah, more of that today. Okay, 2 minutes into this game. Early chance, perhaps. It is switched wide to Thales Magno, the Brazilian, looking to cut inside for Monaco. Does dance inside, pulls the trigger. Jovic, massive save for us. Still got a corner to deal with, though. It's going to be Mudryk over it, whipping it in towards the centre, headed away from danger, but not completely out the woods yet. Kamara, edge of the box for Fana. Kamara, McAllister, pulls the trigger, goes over. Bright, Arian B, playing out from the back. Adriano, Shelderup, plays it forward towards Adamu. He is going to try and dink it. Sadly, it's gone over the bar. Now, you might have noticed I am playing Shelderup out on the left-hand side. Nonto is actually coming back from injury. Not 100% match fit. I could have gambled on him, but actually, Shelderup's been playing okay as of late. I'm hoping he's going to justify his selection with defence-splitting passes like that. Adamu pulls the trigger. It's a sensational save. Been all action in this first 10 minutes. They've got the ball here. Do I need to be nervous? Thales Magno, heavy touch, gives it away to Adriano, who's been sensational as of late. Plenty of work for him to do here. Little give and go. And Adamu's had a few chances here, which, if he wasn't coming back from injury, I'd back him to score. I still really would back him to score even now. We could be a couple of goals ahead. You might have noticed as well, they have got Cucurella, this Monaco side. They've got plenty of Graham Potter's men from his days at Chelsea. Kamara, Fofana, pulls the trigger, blocked. Mudryk, Cucurella, whips it back post. Thales Magno heads it in and makes it 1-0. Also, is it just me or is the ball hard to see again? Please actually let me know on YouTube, have you been able to see the ball so far in this game? Because I feel like I'm struggling at home and I'm weighing up, do I go to 2D? You know, because it served us so well last time when we took on Man City. I am going to switch to 2D. I know that might annoy some people. We'll have the 3D replays. I don't know if it's the Champions League ball with certain nighttime lighting. I've only noticed it in Man City in the last episode and in this episode here. There's just certain conditions where I'm finding the ball hard to see playing the game. And so I feel like perhaps you guys at home as well, it's probably a problem as well. YouTube compresses things. Green as a colour, like you might notice it on YouTube sometimes, doesn't compress very well. You get a lot of artifacting sometimes around objects. And I feel like the ball is probably difficult to see. So why not go to 2D? Why not give it up to the 2D massive? Can we make something happen here? No. Adriano hits it wide. Vitali Becker throwing on the far side. There's been so many highlights in this game for a half that only has the one goal. Can we finally find a way through? We can't. Adriano's hit the crossbar there. I mean, look at the stats for this game. They've had 2 shots on target to our 5. We've had 16 shots total. And yet, at half-time here, in spite of everything we've created, we're a goal down. That's annoying. I'm going to get shouty. Adamu's been poor and is continuing to play worse. I'm going to bring in Viper, I think, up top. Gruder's not had a great game out on the right-hand side. You know what? I'm going to bring in Nonto. I'm going to do it. He's going to play out on the right-hand side. Now, like I mentioned, he is coming back from injury, but a fitness test wasn't required. I decided it wasn't worth the risk. I think with us being a goal down now, it absolutely is worth that risk. Double change made in the final third. Can it turn around our fortunes? We're going to have a set piece to deal with here. It's whipped back post. Arian B heads it away, but only as far as Sula, who's going to play it back wide towards Alexis McAllister. Plenty of options in the middle for Monaco to aim for. Joelinton is one of them, and Joelinton scores, and it's 2-0, and it's completely against the run of play, and I'm fuming. The Monaco team, by the way, in this save game I feel like it's a rather unique one. I don't know if it's necessarily a realistic Monaco team. It's quite a fun team. You've got Alexis McAllister, Mudryk, Cucurella, Joelinton, loads of Premier League rejects, dare I call them that. And then you've got other players like Talas Magno in the team. It's just fun. Kameri, crunching tackle on him, dispossesses him. McAllister lays it back to Emerson Royal at right back. We're going to put him under some pressure. We've won the ball nicely. Now we need to make something happen going forward. Shelderupt dinks it. Nonto on off the bench. Players queuing up in the middle. Can't get his cross in. They lump the ball clear, but only as far as Omobamidele. We're looking good in this game thus far. Can we make more happen here? Spraying the ball wide, trying to make things happen. Nonto, fresh off the bench, options in the middle. Not a great ball in, but we've still got plenty of players in the attack. And of course, with Viper to aim for in the box, we have our aerial presence. We have our big meaty man. At the moment, we're struggling to find him, but we're retaining possession. We're keeping Monaco penned back, and I feel like a breakthrough is coming. I can feel it coming. Nonto is going to find the back of the net. It's his 13th goal of the season. Inspired sub. 2-1, we deserve that. Let's push on for another. Nice little interplay down this left-hand side. Becker and Adriano with the give and go. Ball pulled back intelligently to the penalty spot. The volley, very nice at the end of that move. I mean, look at the stats for this game. We have been absolutely rampant here. I've got a few more changes I can make. I'm going to bring in Wirtz. I'm going to bring in Urata. Bullet, in danger of losing his discipline, desperate not to get him bucked. So far, our players who I was worried about potentially getting suspended, Becker and MB, have been well behaved. There's 5 minutes of added time. There's going to be a second leg. I'm not going to panic, but the ultimate conclusion to this game is going to be 2-1. When you look at the XG story, when you look at how that game played out, we didn't deserve to lose. We have a task at hand in the second leg that we are going to have to be very good to achieve. I feel like ordinarily I'd be very annoyed in this situation, but I'm going to give the optimistic team talk. The players are delighted about it. I think at home, given what I've seen there, we can take the game to them. Now, midweek, we have got a game against Borussia Mönchengladbach. We don't care about that. We're going to get straight to the next game against Monaco. It's in a week's time. I'm going to rest up the players, probably rotate things for that Gladbach game, and hope that we could do better than what we've just seen there when it comes to goal scoring. Yeah, I don't know how we've not done better there. Now, I know I was rotating the team against Gladbach. Didn't expect this. I mean, this did happen earlier on in the season when I let the B team play a game. I let them cook. They've burnt down the kitchen. 3-0. Probably should have scored a goal. Doesn't really justify having 20 shots against us. I mean, at least the first team's rested. Let's look at the positives. And speaking of the first team, we are back at full strength today. Nonto, who scored on off the bench last game, is going to start out on the left-hand side. Going to hope that Adamu and Gruder have better performances this time around. In spite of the fact they didn't really show up in the final third, we were still able to create a ton. And with the players ready and rested for this one, I'm going to hope we can take the game to them. Arian B did come on against Gladbach, so we've got to rest him up. But besides that, we look good. I really hope we win this one. Okay, 2-1 down. Got to turn this around. I feel like we have the quality to make it happen. We actually have to make it happen. I feel like we had the quality in the last game. We just lacked that cutting edge at the end of things. Adamu, a player who we backed for his goal scoring, missed some great chances. Viper didn't look particularly inspired on off the bench. But you know what? There's still time to turn it around. And maybe, just maybe, we can turn it around here. Cucurella down the line, though, to Joelinton. They've got some crazy attacking talent with Emi Buendia at the heart of their kind of creative attacking midfield position as well, this Monaco side. That said, Adamu wins back the ball superbly, and now we have it out from the back. Bullets with the ball, lays it across to Omobamidele. And Kameri, dispossessed, but works hard to get the ball back. And we go again. We have the home advantage. We have the home fans singing. Hopefully they're going to be providing that extra little bit of oomph as Vitaly Becker makes it to the byline. The ball is saved by the keeper. There was an appeal for a penalty. Lafont in goal for Monaco makes a sensational stop. Apparently the shot wasn't even on target, but I mean, it looked like it was going in the back of the net to me. There were so many highlights in the first half. In this second leg, first half, nothing by comparison to the first leg. This has been poor in terms of replays. In terms of the XG, we're creating plenty. I'm going to tell the players they've been terrible. There's a real temptation to take off some of the players here, and yet I feel like I have to persist with them. I feel like they have the quality to turn this around. And killing on a yellow card shouldn't scare me. But given the significance of this game and how pivotal it is in our season, it does scare me a little bit. It does make me nervous. Thales Magno, Fofana, trying to switch the ball back across. I thought for a second Gruder might be able to sneak in and make an interception. Lafont lays it forward. Kamara, Jolington, cutting inside. Cucurella plays it down the line to Emi Buendia. This is the first minute of the second half. Surely it's not going to go how the last leg did. Thales Magno scores his 3-1. I can't believe it. We were so good in the first half. We were so in control. It felt like the XG story all in our favour. And it's just one big switch from one wing to the other that sees Thales Magno head it into the back of the net. It could go from bad to worse. Monaco have got a free kick. Emi Buendia in a wide area. He's going to float it in. Bullet heads it away. Emi Buendia is going to keep this attack alive for AS Monaco. Lays it across to Jolington, who pulls the trigger, and that was not far wide. I feel like at this point I have to commit men to the attack, which isn't exactly what I want to be saying here, given the fact that there's still a lot of football left to be played and they've got so much in the way of attacking talent. But I feel like I have to change something up here. I'm going to bring in Viper and I'm going to play him as a target forward. I'm going to encourage the players here to be more direct with the play. We're not going to roll it out anymore. Instead, we're going to look to get it to the flanks. Make this pitch wide. Get crosses into the box. We're going to just go for a mixed array as well with Viper's aerial ability. And Kylian booking does concern me slightly, but I just feel like I have to persist with him. Oh my, it could go from bad to worse. Bullets on the floor, injured. The previous changes haven't even gone through yet. Is he okay? He's okay. I think that was very dramatic rolling around. I say that. He's got an absolutely broken heart here on the bottom of the screen, but we'll worry about that in a moment because we're on the attack here. Viper pulls the trigger, heads it over, and with that, I'm going to bring in Arata in at right back. He is also my defensive mid option, so I guess Nkili is staying on the pitch for now. Nonto's been poor. I'm going to bring in Shelderupt. I'm going to bring in Bino Gittins. And you know what? I'm going for the triple change. Giovanni Reina as well. We're going for a complete new look team in the final third. 35 minutes to turn this game around. There are 30 minutes left on the clock. They've had one shot on target in this entire game, and it's their goal. I think they've had 3 shots on target across the 2 legs. I feel like we've been royally mugged off so far, which is kind of ironic being mugged by the team from Monaco of all teams, but there is still time to turn this around. Bino Gittins, Giovanni Reina, they linked up a lot at the end of the season. They've linked up there. We still need another goal. Well, it's not over yet. Fofana played it wide. Urata won a superb little header, fresh off the bench. Bino Gittins got to the byline, pulled it across. Gio Reyna on the volley, in off the post. 15 minutes left of this game. Kamara lays it wide to Cucurella. Monaco with so many players queuing up in the box, but that could leave them susceptible to a counter-attack. We've got players breaking forward here, left and right. Shelderupt plays it. Giovanni Reina, back wide, ball put in, deflected, falls to Viper. Is he onside? I think he is onside. I think that's 2-1 on the night. It's 3-3 on aggregate. The subs have worked wonders. I could not believe how many players Monaco committed to that attack. They had so many players in our box and it looked dangerous, but as soon as we got the ball away, we were fine. I thought for a second Viper might have been offside there, but the flag's not gone up. The cross deflected off their defender, not that that should matter. And, well, apparently it was a tight offside decision. Was he behind the ball? That looked offside to me. But then again, the offside rule, apparently the officials don't know it in real life. So I guess this is only realistic. Not a bitter Liverpool fan. Not bitter. 5 minutes of added time here. Are we going to extra time or is there going to be a late twist? The answer is There's going to be extra time. And suddenly, that plan I had of doing the away day and looking at that handball court or futsal court, yeah, that seems ill-informed, doesn't it? Told you I'm on a time deadline. Players had that thought, we'll make the game as long as possible. Into extra time we go. We made a lot of our subs early. That's going to be a little bit concerning. Do we get an extra sub in extra time? I don't know if we do. I want to check it. I don't feel like we do, but I could be wrong. And I feel like if I am wrong, probably should be making use of it. And that said, we need to deal with this here. Brilliant Bolo has just headed that against the crossbar, if I'm not mistaken. And the ball's not still away from danger. Okay, the highlight ends. Do I get a sub? Yes, no, maybe. I get one more sub. I do get another change. Becker is absolutely exhausted at left back. I'm going to bring in Taruna Riga for him. I really wish I could make a few more changes here. Simply put, I can't. Okay, the subs haven't even happened yet, but Giovanni Reyna's over a corner. I'm going to sit here in anticipation and expectation, as predictably, this is just the pointless post-sub highlight, isn't it? Football Manager, nothing's going to happen here. Just end. If nothing's going to happen, just end the highlight. And if they're going to score, just end the highlight as well. They're on the attack. Fofana through the middle. Players queuing up. Buendia is one of them. Was he offside? I'm saying that out of hope rather than expectation. The sub hasn't even happened. Monaco have gone ahead, and it's another smash and grab, it feels like. What are the stats in this game? They've had 2 shots on target. They've both gone in the back of the net. It's not a great day for Jovic, is it? Not a great day for Jovic fans. I mean, I'm going to make that sub anyway, and there's another kickoff highlight. I mean, it's all action here. You can't complain about it being a boring Champions League round of 16 game, can you? We made all that effort to make sure that we skipped a knockout round, and it almost feels like we've played an extra knockout round with how exhausting this game has been to watch. Buendia plays it wide. We've been caught in possession. They're playing it forward. Araujo looked offside to me. Wasn't given. Jovic, sensational save there. I forgive him for the last goal. I mean, there's still 25 minutes left on the clock. We've got this corner that we are going to need to deal with, and we are going to deal with here. I still feel like there's twists and turns in this game yet. Hopefully not twists and turns in their favour, mind you. Taruna Riga on off the bench at left back in this one. He's going to throw it to Shelder. Back now with Taruna Riga. Inside to Nkili, the number 6, stepping forward with the ball. Kameri pulls the trigger. That was not far wide. Monaco on the attack. I don't know about you, but I feel like this would be one of the biggest FMings of all FMings if we go out in this Champions League round. Given how dominant we were in the first leg, given how dominant we've been in this second leg, the XG across the games, I think, is something like 6-1 to us, 6-1.5. It has been crazy. And yet Monaco have just had this ability, it feels like, to put the ball in the back of the net that I could only, well, dream of, it feels like. There's only 2 minutes left of this first half of extra time. Monaco are knocking it around with some confidence here, making our players in the final third chase the ball quite a lot. And all those fresh subs I made are slowly but surely starting to show some fatigue. Fofana steps out with the ball. Players queuing up. He's offside, surely. He puts the ball through the keeper's legs. The flag's raised. It's offside. It's not going to count. Okay, into this second half of extra time we march. I think we're at the point now where we do just have to commit more men to the attack. We have to get players further forward and just try and make something happen here. We've worked hard, not really created enough, I feel like, in this game. My centre mids, they're absolutely exhausted. They've given it absolutely everything. At this point, I've just got to gamble and go for it. We're going to play, and Killy is a deep line playmaker. Kameri's going to get pushed further forward. Plenty of players in the attack. We just have to find a way through. 5 minutes left. Is this really how our Champions League campaign is going to come to a close here? There is 1 minute of added time. Giovanni Reyna is over a free kick. A goal here would send it to penalties. Reyna over it, pulls the trigger, hits the crossbar, and Nana clears it away. It was so far out, you just couldn't expect the goal from there. I was waiting and hoping for the rebound to fall our way, and instead Monaco just get the ball away from danger. They're going to run for the corner here. We are left chasing shadows, and we can't get the ball off them. Buendia bringing it forward. There is 45 seconds left here. Monaco in no shortage of players forward. Anana pulls the trigger on the half volley, misses the target, but wastes some more time. And suddenly, I think this game's done. We're going to lose 4-3 like this, which is absolutely gutting. Jovic is going to launch it clear. Viper can't win the nod down. And now suddenly, Monaco Well, Monaco doing Monaco things. They've won this game 4-3. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I made my subs early, which obviously cost us longer term, but those early subs are what allowed us to turn around the game, I feel like, and get the 2 goals that we did. Gonna tell the players we should have won that based on the chances. It's no consolation. We go out 4-3 on aggregate. And now all of a sudden, this competition screen looks rather disappointing, doesn't it? We are still in the DFB Pokal. We are still top of the Bundesliga. We are only 6 points ahead of Bayern Munich. And with 8 games left, our job's not done yet. What a disappointing way to end things today. I suppose I can reveal this now. I'm planning on this being the final season at Dortmund for FM23. Of course, FM24 comes out on the 6th of November, but beta access is up to 2 weeks before. 2 weeks before is a Monday, and game studios don't really release stuff on Mondays. So I was anticipating it to come out in around 3 weeks' time, as of sometime this week, the new game. With that in mind, I don't know if I have time for another season without rushing my way through. And on top of that, I've been playing Football Manager daily, pretty much for YouTube, for the whole year. I do like to have just a couple of weeks where I pull the plug and have a break ahead of the new game. My dream and expectation in my head was that because we're in the Champions League, we maybe get to the semi-finals, finals, maybe win it, be a good way to end things, and then I can give the save game to you guys to either continue in FM23 or obviously port to FM24 if you're going to be picking up that game. You could make this into your beta save. That said, with how things have gone here, it would be ending things sooner than I've planned, but I genuinely don't know if I have time for another season that would also allow me to have a bit of a break from playing FM daily before the new game. That's not to say there wouldn't be any videos, just in terms of actually playing the game, I'd pull the plug. Instead, we would be doing more evergreen content kind of ramping up some excitement for the new game. I've looked at the numbers for the series. Their interest has dropped since we won the Bundesliga. It looks like we're going to win the Bundesliga for a second season. And the reality is, with one more season, do I think I could win the Champions League? I feel like to win the Champions League at all, you've got to get lucky. And it'd be a lot of work in terms of 20 hours of recording, of playing the game and stuff, just for one more shot of the Champions League, which, to be honest, with our current squad, I don't know if I could do. Yeah, I mean, you guys can let me know. I mean, we're still in the DFB Pokal. The league isn't won yet, so there's still plenty of stuff this year. I've got to go away and make some businessy decisions, though, about what is the plan here at Dortmund beyond this year. If you've got any thoughts on it, you can let me know them down below. Maybe put a spoiler block on your comments, so like just, you know, hit enter a load of times so people can't see it right away, so people don't know what happened in the Champions League game. But yeah, especially if you've got until the end of the video, you're obviously one of the more loyal viewers. I would like to know your thoughts. Anyway, as I hit stop record, the time is 10:46. We managed to play all of today's episode in about an hour. I've now got an hour and 15 minutes to edit it all and get it on YouTube and have it in your sub boxes. Good luck editing, Jack. Godspeed. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Dortmund action. Thank you for watching. It's me, Jack. I'll see you all again on the next one. Right, let's run. Hit stop record. We're rushing this out.